And that smoke, that spirit started to go inside of my body. And I was trying to stop that thing, but I was floating over there and I didn't have any control on my body. And that thing just totally entered into my body. At that point, there were like canes by a fireplace. And that is, the fireplaces are where the demons of death are invoked. And the spirit of death manifests through the canes. So at that moment when the spirit of death took over me, the canes started to dance around me. At that point, I felt like claws coming inside of my brain. I came inside my body, and I felt literally like claws were entering into my brain. And she said, I don't see nothing. When I came out of that ceremony, I was totally demonized. As my brother said in the morning, the power of evil have totally taken my life. I got new powers. I have now the powers. He said, the warlord said, now you have the powers of the kingdom of God. Now you have the powers of magic. Now you can see the spirit realm. Now you can have everything you wanted. And I started to have a lot of fame. I was an artist. I was a painter. I was a tennis player. The strength of the devil came over me. And I was just playing tennis, and I was just smashing everybody. Very soon, I was at the top ranking of the tennis players in Mexico. I was making a lot of money, selling paintings. And little by little, the ceremony started to go deeper and deeper. And at the beginning, I had a visitation of Satan. And he showed up like a beautiful angel. He showed up in its beauty. There is a fake beauty of the devil. And he came to seduce me. He came to so I can know him. So he can start coming every new moon, every full moon to my room. And at the beginning, it was a very extraordinary experience. Just to talk with him, just to be friends with him. I didn't know he was Satan. He just gave me a name. And that name is the one I would call every full moon. One day, the spirit of the full moon, this angel of light, this Satan himself, showed himself the way he really was. And suddenly he took his mask off, and I saw the devil face to face. And he said to me, I have come here to claim you as my wife, and you will be married to me. When I saw the devil, I said, I'm not going to be married to you. And he said, well, there's no way out. I already own you. You have signed a contract with blood, and I own your soul, and you are to serve me. And I said, well, I will never marry you. Well, there's no way out. I am your master, and you will have to do whatever I ask you to do. From that moment on, there was a war that started. I was not going to submit to whatever he wanted me to do. But a war started. Then he started to send demons to torment me. Demons to totally beat myself up. Like you see in the gathering. I found myself just throwing myself in the door, in the floor, in the walls, everywhere. And I just could not stop the tormenting. It was like feeling like I was being ripped off from within. And I mean, the torment, the pain, I will spend weeks just weeping, tormented without being able to do nothing. Just being under the foot of the devil for entire weeks. The pain in my soul was so strong that the soul can only take a certain amount of pain. Once it reaches a certain point, you enter like in an anesthesia. You cannot take any longer. He was destroying everything around me. He was destroying my family. My children were taken away from me. I could not see my children anymore. That was totally devastating me. My family was totally torn into pieces. My twin sister was caught with a tremendous tumor in the spinal cord. Everything around me, what was the fame and the glory, once started to go down and started to go into debt and misery. And we used to gather with all the main warlocks, and we had awesome meetings in the Cathedral of Mexico, one of the major demonic places in Mexico City. And I gathered with major warlocks. I was among, we had a triangle of power, and we meet with the most powerful warlocks. Now, when we think about witches and warlock, they always boast like if they have all the power, like if they have everything under control. The truth, we were all tormented. The truth is we were all weak. The truth is that we were serving the father of all lies, and we were living a lie that we knew. We were putting a facade. We were boasting in our pride, but the truth, there was brokenness in each and every one of us. And we were just waiting for the moment that the devil will hit one of us, or one of our children, or one of our beloved ones. And then we'll gather together and we'll say, oh, the little one, the baby has been touched. Let us do something. Let us do something. And we knew it was over. We knew there was no hope. We knew there was no invocation we could do, because the devil was going to take our beloved ones. Inside of every warlock, inside of every witch, there's a brokenness. I preach crusades to witches. I preach crusade to people in the occult when they all boast and they think they know all things. But they know in their hearts they are broken. They have seen their relatives died in the most horrendous accidents. They have seen death all over. They have seen tragedy. Tragedy follows occult everywhere. Tragedy is all over. And when you start to touch the subject of tragedy, that is the weakest point of the warlocks and the witches. I started to discover something. I started to discover the devil was not as mighty as he presumed he was. And we were charging major amounts of money to do witchcraft service to people. And we will do all kind of witchcraft to them. And there were certain people the devil could not touch. So one day, in one of the visitations of the devil, I challenged him. And I say, you promise that if we serve you, you will give us everything we ask. And we're bringing all these people to you, and you cannot touch that person that we are trying to destroy. Why is it that you cannot do this? Why is it that you cannot do that? Why is it that you cannot touch and destroy that marriage that we've been asking you to destroy? Why is it that you cannot touch that person? Why is it that you've been telling us that you have all the power, but you don't? And I spoke this word face to face to the devil. That day, I signed my sentence to death. After that moment, the spirit of death was after me day and night. It was like having a parrot speaking to me, clinging to my shoulder and telling me day and night, you're going to die. I'm coming after your soul.